Okay, this is gonna focus. I just listened to my little speech there, my little sermon. Um, and there were some things I missed that I want to focus on those. First is the credo, the manifesto, the way we should treat ourselves and each other. Actually, the way we should treat each other. If you say you're transgender, um, you're different. Everybody's uniquely crafted. That's what I said earlier. So nobody's the same. There's a lot of similarities, but everybody's their own. They're all uniquely made, and everybody makes their own decisions on how they're going to present themselves to the world. And this is really, really important because, like, Truscums, transsexuals who want to define transgender for everybody, are one of the most harmful kind of transphobic people. This internalized transphobia and relational bullying and marital hostility is much more dangerous to uh, the solidarity of LGBT community, the spectrum, the whole spectrum, and all the little sub communities in it. This is the internal threat is much greater than any of the external threats today. So, like I was saying, is that the cis world, the majority of them want to know about us. They want to know how to be better neighbors. They want to know how to be better employers, better public servants. Um, the haters are fewer and fewer all the time. So it's best not to give them any publicity at all. Um, and some of the things that I was told when I was first coming out, because this was where Paris's focus was today. She's looking at the kids, the teens that are like trying to decide where they're going to go and how they're going to get there. Um, and For me, it was getting the ducks in a row. Informing people that this is what I'm about. Just start to stop pretending by letting the people around me know as, hey, look, this is what's up. And by the time I was ready to actually come out, everybody close to me had known for a long time. Um, and when I did come out, I lost very few friends. And over the course of time, my relations with my family are much better than they've been in many years. Um, so getting laid by a trans guy in September helped that. They thought they were going to get a son-in-law. Uh, but it fizzled quick. It's only a couple of days of sex. It wasn't like a lifetime. Oh well. But I got a taste at least. I know what I want. For sure. I can be a woman with a penis. I can partner with a cis woman or a trans man easily. And sell it to a. I'll sell it. I don't care. It's one of the things shameless about the transgender community is like, um, sex work is one of our best options. Um, the, it's sad when they're poor and forced into it, but when they got their shit together and do it right, it's a good living. Um, I knew she wasn't trans. This was this girl that did it, where she was strictly giving hand jobs. She did not touch a man's penis with her lips at all, but she was more like taking care of old guys and getting them off, being nice to them, giving them hugs and jerking them off. Um, and she didn't get much money for it because they were all poor, but she had a lot of business. And she didn't like really have to do anything. She's more like a practical nurse. That's really poor what she was doing. Um, but anyway, it's what we call desperation prostitution is a really sad aspect of the community. And when you're coming out, um, if you want to avoid that, uh, there you got to find a decent job. Um, Good luck, basically. I mean, we have extra impediments by being trans, but everybody else is in the same boat, finding something decent that you can support yourself with and don't hate. Oh, that's real tough. Um, I have to cop to like living off the government handout for, but I had to take a bullet to get it, so I don't feel that bad about it. I don't feel guilty about it, and I've always used the money to help more than just me. Um, and so anyway, back to transition, getting ready to do it. You know, kind of get all your ducks in a row. Everybody, like close into your life, you need to have them like affirmative. It's like, okay, let's do this. You know, and they start to use, they start to use your preferred pronouns and your new name if you want to get, if you can change your name. Um, it's, as far as choosing a name, there's, well, I don't know what to tell you if you don't like your name as it is and just feminize it. That's what I was Thomas and now I'm Tommy. Well, I was always Tommy. I just ditched the Thomas completely. That's really what I did. And a lot of people, I know, lots of Michaelas and a few Davidas and that kind of stuff. Um, that's again, that goes back to everybody makes their own choices, and then everybody else respects those choices and supports that person, and whatever their preferred pronouns are, and for people, this is kind of for cis people more than trans people on this one, is that when you meet a person that says that they're trans and they don't register properly in your mind's eye as a female or male person, depending on whether you're meeting a male to female or female to male person, if they don't register in your mind's eye, you have two choices at that point. If you want to try to maintain a contact with this person, you can. It takes a special effort to kind of short circuit, you know, to think for that moment that, hey, wait a minute, this is an exception here. This person, even though they look male, is really female. It takes a little bit to train your mind. And for the trans people, when you have new people in your life, the things to watch out for is whether, uh, the people that are totally sincere will start, they'll hear it themselves. Oh, sorry. And start self-correcting very quickly. And the people that don't give a shit, um, will just like have to be told constantly, and there come a point where it's like, no, fuck that, bye, get out of my life. Um, and you can always tell, watch their eyes and their mouths, and just feel for their heart vibe. And when they are referring to you in your preferred and with your preferred name and with your preferred gender, um, for you can feel the contempt when it's there. You can feel when it's sincere when they're there. When they're really seeing you as a girl or really seeing you as a guy, you can feel it in the way they talk to you, in the way their face looks when they're talking to you. What else? Yeah, I want to keep this one real short. There were only 3 points. There was like the nobody's transition invalidates anybody else's. Nobody's lack of a transition is invalidated. If they say they're trans, they're trans. There are so many different ways of being trans. Don't try to define somebody else's transness by your own. And that's that trust them shit. Train your now thought police. That's like no, that's boo boo. That's not. Or how? What's the occupy? Oh, it's like that. Is that the block for occupy? It's like no. Everybody, celebrate diversity. And lastly, I want to talk about hormones. It's inadvisable to self medicate, especially with the strong ones. You should always do it with the oversight of a doctor, and so they can do the lab work and make sure there's no problems. And there's a lot of side effects or potential, but for the most part, uh, the hormone therapies are safe. I don't know. I can't speak about the testosterone because I don't know enough to speak on that yet. But as far as the male and female hormones, uh, basically there are two types. You've got the estrogen, the female hormones, the estrogen and progesterone, and that comes in various forms. And this is again why you should be always going through a doctor that knows what they're doing rather than like listening to people and telling you what to, because let the doctor work with the doctor. Always work with the doctor on this, and a qualified one. Um, and But then there's the androgen blockers. My I'm taking I think the maximum dose for estrogen orally. I'm not sure what the dose. I don't know what the doses are for the injectable. Orally, they don't like to give you anybody more than 8. I'm getting 6. That's what the doctor's happy with. Um, I wasn't I wasn't seeing. My body was already what would be called gender ambiguous, where my secondary sexual characteristics, like muscle and bone and boobs, the way the fat laid, that kind of stuff was more female than male. Um, just my stuff was is, and that was surgically made that way. Um, I didn't see much, especially like breast growth. It's just I did very subtle changes. Um, I always had smooth skin, and now it's smoother. Um, my body hair, I never had any hair on my. I mean, I had some hair on my legs as a teen, but that all went away quick. And so my legs have always been very smooth, and I don't, no hair on my legs. I had some chest hair and a little belly hair, and I was kind of furry in the arms and on my shoulders. And that's all like you have to look to see it. It's still pretty. It's still a little fuzzy, but not like it's more like looks like a hairy old lady. And I know women that hirsute. But I've seen women that are far more hirsute than I am right now. And my tonsure, my male pattern baldness. The rest of my family here. I'll show you the whole thing. It's growing back. It's coming in here. I can grab tufts of it, and that's from finasteride, the one of the androgen blockers. The other one is commonly used as spironolactone. There's a couple more that I've heard about, and I don't know anything about. I can't even name them. That's how little I know about them. But again, deal with a doctor who knows what they're doing. Classically, the treatment team consisted of the primary care provider, or PCP, the endocrinologist, and a psychologist or psychiatrist. They used to require a psychiatrist had the key pen because the psychiatrist was signing off on the authorizations for medical necessity for the surgeries. Um, no, the endo was doing the chemistries, and the primary was watching over the whole thing, and the shrink was there to spill your guts to. And that's still recommended. I have my endo and my primary all rolled into one now, which is real nice. She's a really wonderful person and very knowledgeable, a lot of fun. And my shrink, I have an actual psychiatrist. I see her once a month, and I see the primary quarterly unless I need to see her for something else. Um, and That's where we're at. And, um, what else? Because now we're already up to 14 minutes. So that's a. I guess I guess I'm doing two 20-minute segments on pep talk and transit, hormones and stuff. It's just the transgender, the generalized. I don't know what to call all this yet. I don't have a title for it yet. But this is, Paris Lees. This is definitely dedicated to Paris Lees, Jenny Boylan, Lynn Conway, and every other one of my older sisters. Thank you for everything you've shared with me, directly or indirectly. And my peers in the transgender community, other advocates and activists around. Tommy Clinton is doing wonderful work in with Transgender Community Coalition in the Coachella Valley, and I think I'm gonna cut off the shout outs right there. Um, and just acknowledge, like, I don't want, we're a community, we're people, we're a recognized minority. There have been several court rulings in the United States. I'm providing what I can. I got drawn in because I didn't have anything with Facebook that I could, stay in my. Usually, I've been avoiding the UK trans wars because it's all like these radical trans activists facing off the turfs. And I feel like I've been saying straight along. I feel more like we need to build our bridges rather than like fight off an invader right now. Is what we need. And that's what I'm trying to pitch in there. And so that's what this talk is all about. Is Paris lit me up this morning and yesterday. I think she had some things to say that got me going. And here I am spewing it into the camera for everybody to see forever. And I'm really proud to have survived this long, um, with my dignity intact, with my hands clean. I never heard anything worse than I needed to get away from it. And I'm very proud of the relations, cis and trans, straight and queer, over the years, of people that are really dedicated to what's right, to live by what's true and enduring in humanity, what's really human nature, what's really human religion, to what's really being faithful to the creation, to do what the ancient sages and prophets and avatars told us we should be doing with ourselves and our lives in the here and now. And I've done that as best I can. And thank you all. God bless you and good Sabbath. Rock and roll.